Well, here we have Little G. He was found on a farm, seems to have an injury on the front and the back of his head. We're not too sure of the circumstances, but he was brought to our local veterinary clinic, and they called us and we went to collect him, and we're just treating his little wounds and everything and making sure everything's fine. The next step in the process, of course, is making sure he gets something to drink and get some milk into him. This is a special soya formula that we're using. Oh, he's still a tiny little guy.
Yeah, Xander, who collected him, is going to show you where they got knocked over.
Okay.
Ellie thinks it's one of our troop that's been.
There, you're back at the sanctuary now, hey? Gonna meet some friends later. Oh, shame, Martini. Okay.
Well, here we have Little G popping over to meet Dobby and Carla and start making new friends.
Hi, sir. Can I get you to give this little guy a little space? Can I get you to give Gigi a little space? Both of you? Good lord. Not helpful, monkeys. Not helpful. Second. Welcome, G. Welcome, Gigi.
Martini joining the others, which would now be Dobby, Carla and Little G. We slowly watch their little transition as they come in scared and petrified and not really know what's going on, and sort of find a friend amongst the other little monkeys and seem to get to attach to that particular one, and they go together through the whole rehabilitation process. So it is quite nice to follow the two of them now and see their little journey until they get out into the enclosure. Settling in now, calmed down a lot and attached to each other completely. So these are two little friends. Hopefully they'll always be friends for life, but it's hard to say as they grow up and their paths sort of change as they meet other monkeys later on. But it's just quite amazing to see the transformation and the trust that they start getting into each other. You look at them now, their little pink faces, battling to walk around, and as they're going to transform and eventually be jumping around in trees and going crazy, playing around with the other little juveniles. So it's quite remarkable to see the transformation.
Right around on my little girl who's almost as small as you are. He is.
Oh, I don't know yet. Cake?
Well, I already have most of the money on me.
The most important aspect of this whole process is teaching these little guys to get in and out of the feeding cage, and here we try and entice them in with food. Of course, Little G is trying to get in and Martini holding back the whole process at the moment. But this is where it all starts, and hopefully soon they'll be in.
Let him go inside. And there is Luna again. Martini goes in to cuddle again.
Finally, everyone into the feeding cage. They each have their own little bottle and can be quite fussy, just like human babies, that they get attached to a particular teat, and if they get the wrong one, they get kind of upset. So we do have to make sure we always put them in the right places so that they drink the right amount of milk.
Let's go.
Martini and Little G on their way to the global enclosure to start being introduced to foster mothers. A little bit scared of the new environment, not really wanting to go out, but one can see from this, once they're out, how they start enjoying themselves and getting used to their new surroundings. You never know how the first interaction with the troop's going to go. Of course, little G here being very brave and running up and down and showing what he's got. At least so far things seem to be going well. The troop's very inquisitive. He's inquisitive, and Martini comes over to see what's going on. And the big moment in everybody's lives, not just the little babies or the orphans, but ours as well, choosing a mom for the first time and letting her in with the little orphans to see how things are going to go. Typical, like with any kids, yeah, they are just ignoring their new mom, pretending she's not even there, and just carrying on the way they normally go. This is Dolly. She's easy to recognize because she's got a little stumpy tail. Here you can see how they're growing up slightly and getting a little bit bigger. Facial features are changing, although they're still very dependent on each other. Haven't really switched over to the mother, got a confidence in their foster mom at all. Of course, you can see how good Dolly is with them. She's not overbearing, just giving that gentle little hug, giving them confidence, so that they build a little bit of trust in her. You can see they are still a bit worried when they're looking into her face, all clinging onto each other, but at least she's close by, and slowly this interaction is going to get better and better as things go on.
Is that little G like trying to
This is Martini, Little G. His foster mom Dolly. So Little G's the bigger one, the bigger boy. He clings on to the mom, and then Martini still clinging on to Little G. He's like a foster bro. But these three very well bonded. We've been in here for a couple of weeks now. Martini's still a bit young, so it'll be a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks before they can go out. But they're doing very well, and it's really just a matter of time now. They both drink really well. I think yesterday they were the biggest drinkers out of all the paired babies, so no problems there. And she's a very good mum. So almost time, and they'll be going out.
And here you can start seeing the difference as they got frightened. They started to grab for their foster mom Dolly and look for the support in her instead of bundling up together. They're actually looking at her for the protector, which is fantastic. So as you can see, the process is starting to work quite nicely here. Also have a look at their little faces. You can see they're slightly getting a black tinge to them as their faces darken while they're maturing. The ultimate sign of acceptance, completely on its back, enjoying a grooming from its foster parents. It's really great. That's what you do to the cameraman when he keeps on filming your private moments. When you think your sister's milk tastes better than yours, and you just want to help yourself to a little bit of hers. Mom waiting patiently outside for them to get some sustenance, which is great because this will carry on over once they out in the main troop. You always get one monkey who takes a little bit too far, but Fortunately, Little G doesn't stand for it and stands his ground. Dolly really proud of her 2 new charges, and I think they just love their foster mom.
Here they go. Abby straight to the door. And they're away. Lots of hugs from everyone. From Megan, Chicken, here comes Kofi and Abby. And off they go. Dolly carrying Little G and Little G carrying Martini. So over here is Dolly with the 2 babies being groomed by Isla, the alpha. We have Kofi eyebrowing me. And in the tree right there we have Abby and Django being very protective of their new friends. And we have Logan.
So nicely out in the troop, and there we have Mom Dolly carrying both of the babies underneath her. So it just shows you how much weight they can actually carry and how they do manage, which is quite remarkable. But these little 2 have a fantastic home now.
We have a group of bodyguards here to eyebrow and protect their 2 new little babies. And it's Dolly being groomed by Rani and Little G being groomed by Megan. And there's Chicken. Trying to hide the babies from us. As you can see, they're all very clearly in love with these babies. Oh, there's a Little G. And he's gone again. The troop are so happy with their new babies. Here we have Isla the alpha, as well as lots of other monkeys landing close by and in the trees. They're all super protective of their new babies. And Little G and Martini seem to be living life in the troop. Getting lots of grooms, Dolly's getting some time away from them as well. Because poor Dolly's been stuck in an intro cage for far too long with these 2 babies. You can imagine she was going insane. So this is Dolly eating at the food pile, and Little G having something to eat with Martini on his back. And now they're cuddling into Isla, the alpha female. And Sister Abby, very impatient. Down at Global Troop. And here is little Miss Martini, still with her bodyguards, Abby and Kofi. And just over there is Little G. They're not so crazy about him. She's just their little princess, as you can see. I'm just looking at them. And he's all the way up there. He's a big boy. So this is Rani. She was a previous orphan. And we wanted to try her as a foster mom this year. But because Martini would not let go of Little G, she couldn't quite figure that out. So Dolly took over. But Rani seems to have adopted her since she's gone into troop.
You can start seeing how their little faces are getting darker and darker as the days go by.
This is Martini. Martini is getting carried by one of the juvenile females. I think it's Megan. There is Little G. He's also in Global Troop and doing really well. Currently eating something. You can often see both of them together. And now he's going over to Martini. This is Martini surrounded by all the females in Global Troop, as you can see. She's currently carried by Megan.
I've just found Martini finally in the back there. There she goes. There she is. And she's with Little G. Bouncing around all over the place. Just found Little G just opposite Coco in the global enclosure.
Notice how black that little face has got. Can't see any pink around anywhere. So he's over the little baby phase now and a naughty little
Absolutely
juvenile.
no idea where Martini is.
So we have Martini right now being protected by Megan, and right here we have Abby, her big sister. So everyone is still super protective of Martini. So we have Little G sitting on the blanket. He's currently playing with Red and Abby, who are just there. Here we have Logan. Hey boys.
Well, another episode comes to an end. Little G and Martini, following their travels from little orphans to members of a troop, was really quite fantastic to watch. As you see them mature and starting to playing with the other monkeys and becoming little valuable members. Thank you everybody for watching. We do appreciate it. For those that watch the adverts and click on them, supporting us through our crowdfunding pages, YouTube, all of this is making a difference and is helping us survive at the moment. So until next time, we'll see you all then. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.